So, actually sort of starting on time. Well, good morning. Welcome to a live stream. I am Zach Whalen, and this is a live stream for my DGST 101 class at the University of Mary Washington. Turn off the background music so I can talk. Yeah. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining me today. I'm a little bit out of practice with streaming just because it's been, I guess, a few weeks now since I've been streaming, but I think I'm remembering how all this works. So, hello. If you're watching this, I assume you are a student in my class, but if you're not, then you're welcome to watch anyway. I guess I should say if you are one of my many new subscribers on YouTube, I don't usually post the kind of video that you might have subscribed to me to see more of, but this is more what I typically do. This is me teaching, and so this is what I do with my YouTube channel most of the time. So good morning, hello, welcome to the class. This is DGST 101, the second summer term at the University of Mary Washington, and I'm here today to get you all started with the class. A lot of things to talk about. This is mainly about onboarding and getting you ready and getting you started and all that stuff. So a lot to do. I'm glad to see several people watching. And also thanks for saying good morning. I always appreciate kind of hearing who's out there. I see you all in the chat saying good morning, so thank you for that. Of course, you can chat with me on using the Twitch chat if you like, but of course you do need a Twitch account to do that. That's not required, but you do need a Twitch account if you do want to comment on the Twitch channel. But if you'd rather not, like, you can certainly chat on the Discord channel for the live stream chat. That's perfectly fine as well. So either one of those is good. The nice thing about the Discord one is that those chats are easier to look back on after the fact if you want to do that. But between the two doesn't really matter. I can see everything, I think. The only thing I'm not monitoring is the YouTube chat because I do simulcast to the YouTube because for some people that works better especially if you have a weaker internet connection. But it's delayed like 30 seconds, so the chat's kind of awkward, and I already have too many windows open right now, so I can't keep track of it. So if you do have any questions that are urgent during the stream, I recommend using the Discord channel for those questions, but Twitch is also good. I have lots of windows open here. So anyway, this is introduction day. So this is me. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. I'm Zach Whalen. I'm the professor that teaches this class. This class is DGST 101, the Introduction to Digital Studies, and today's the introduction to that class. So I can say a few words about me, I suppose. I am in my 13th year at UMW, something like that, 12th, 13th, I don't know how time works, I forget, but I've been here for a little while, and I'm an associate professor. I'm in the Department of Communication and Digital Studies, which is actually a new department, but I have been previously in the Department of English Linguistics and Communication. I teach classes in digital studies. So when you look at the communication and digital studies major, the digital studies part, that's me. That's what I do. So I'm not the only one who does it, but I'm the first one. I was the first. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm in my 12th year. I study digital studies. My PhD is in English, or from an English department, but studying what we used to call new media. I particularly focused on video games and comics, and so those are kind of areas that I continue to teach classes in. I'm also really into electronic literature, which is kind of another slightly newer area for me, and then creative coding. So these are all different ways that we're doing interesting things with computers, and that's what I mean when I talk about digital studies, is doing interesting things with computers and understanding how people do interesting things with computers. Hold on a second. Oh man, okay. How is that? Okay, sorry. I can see my whole backyard from here, and so sometimes I get distracted by things going on in the backyard. And it looks like there's a bird trapped on my trampoline. Like inside, because we have like the net stuff, to keep the kids from like flying out, I guess escaping. But it's currently keeping a bird in there for some reason, although it can fly out the top, but it may not realize it because it's a mourning dove, and I feel like mourning doves are kind of, I don't know, not the brightest. But we'll see. Hopefully they're okay. By the way, this image behind me, this is a live camera onto, it's actually just right outside my window where I'm standing, where I have some bird seed, and sometimes some birds come by. I haven't been restocking it recently because I haven't been teaching for a while, so I think the birds have sort of forgotten that I put food out, so they probably won't show up, but if they do, that's what's going on there. Anyway, what else was I saying? So I teach this class, mostly I've been teaching it in the summer recently because I've been I have been needed to teach the advanced version of the class, the Applied Digital Studies class, and I teach that now fall and spring, and we used to kind of rotate it, but for the way things have been working, in terms of staffing, it's made more sense for me to keep teaching just that class. So between the two, I really like this class a lot better, honestly, but I like them both fine. But this is actually one of my favorite classes. I created this class, I think back in 2013 was the first time I taught this class, if I remember correctly. And so this is a class that near and dear to my heart. I like it a lot, and I'm glad that you're taking it. So this is a summer class, so it's a 5-week class. It's a kind of condensed version of what I would normally do in a full fall or spring semester. So that might be something you're a little concerned about in terms of just the pacing of things. And so part of what I want to get across today is kind of how this is going to be paced and how you can, in a lot of ways, kind of decide and choose the difficulty level of different projects in a way that makes sense for you based on your background, your interests, and your time, honestly. So let's see. Now, if you have any questions while I'm talking, feel free to just type them in either whatever chat space if you'd like. But also, I should let you know that I'm doing this stream now. This will be recorded. I mean, it is being recorded, and it's going to be archived on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to be online in the Office Hours voice channel in Discord this afternoon from 1 to 3. So if you want to just chat, verbally and just drop in there. It's a video chat. It's called a voice channel, but it's actually video too. So, you can drop in and say hi if you'd like, or ask a question there. That'd be fine. Mainly though, I just want to kind of take you through things, and I want to start with the Canvas course because that's really the hub for everything that we're doing in this class, and all the different, there are several spokes to that hub, but this is a good starting point, and I want to kind of get you oriented basically. So that's what I have here next to me. This is the homepage for our Canvas course, and I've got 4 big images here to link to different things that you will find useful frequently, I think. So I guess I could show you these first and then take a look at the schedule, the syllabus, and all that. This is a day where I do most of the talking, so I'll just kind of go through whatever occurs to me next in what order. Okay, so UMW domains, this is something I will be talking about a little bit later on, but this is where you will create and then access and then control your domain, your website. Your website is a big part of this class, and so this is something we're going to be starting off pretty soon. Okay, see, Colin just asked a question in Discord. I thought I had replaced all of the references to Slack with Discord, and apparently I missed one. So Slack, if you see Slack, mentally substitute Discord. I've actually switched to using Discord for this class. So if you see any references to Slack, I actually meant Discord. So I apologize for that, but I'll look for that, I suppose. But this is, Discord. So Discord and Slack are both free. Don't worry about that. But the point is, Discord is the place to have that conversation that you're referring to there. Anyway, let me get to that in a minute, Colin, and then I'll to your actual question, and then let me continue kind of orienting you all to a couple of these links. So the main thing with the domain of one's own site that you're looking at here, this is where you will create your domain. If you don't have a domain yet, you don't need to do this this instant, but probably today would be good. However, there's kind of a conversation I want to have first before you sign up for your domain, because some people, I think, rush into this and then end up making a decision about their domain that they don't like later on, that they regret, because they don't understand exactly what they're signing up for. And so I want to make sure you understand what you're signing up for and how to make a good choice about that. Okay, so dgsd101.net, this is oh boy, this site needs a lot of work, honestly, but this is a site that we're going to be working on and using some of the resources on it. You know what? I'll go ahead and show you a sneak peek. I have been working on a new version of the site for 3 years that I just have not gotten around to finishing, but mainly because I don't teach this class as often as I'd like, so it's kind of not top of my mind and top of my to-do list. But I'll show you this new site. Maybe it'll be ready. Maybe I'll have time this week to finish it. It's a work in progress, but it looks nicer. The homepage is a little bit of a placeholder, but the point is, the main way that we understand the content of this website is the ideas, the content, the concepts, the skills, the methods, whatever. All these things are really contained in what we call the modules for DGSD 101, and these are units of content that are organized on the website like this. And you will be working with some of these. You'll be choosing among some of these to work on your own, but these are mostly kind of self-directed, self-paced, like choose your own adventure style units of content around different topics that you will hopefully find interesting. I'll give you directions about which ones to choose and when, but this is the place where you'll find this information, including tons of other resources about digital studies that you may find useful. Okay, so this is just a link to our Discord. I'm not going to click on it right now. I sent a link to join the Discord by email last night, but I'm not sharing that link in Canvas because the Canvas course is actually public, and I don't want just any member of the public joining our class. Our Discord server, our Discord server needs to stay private for privacy reasons. So I'm not putting that link out there, but take a look at that. That email I sent last night, click the link, and if you already have a Discord account, it'll just drop you straight into the server. But if you don't already have a Discord account, it'll ask you to create one and then join the server. So either way, should be pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions or run into problems, please let me know. Then of course the Twitch channel, which is what you're watching right now. So that's the other thing that's there. Okay, so what I'm going to do as this course progresses is I'm going to add, kind of build out the outline on the home page of Canvas just to make it easier to find. So what I'm going to do is I have this whole week kind of mapped out. I have a link here to today's notes, which I'll take a look at in a second. But what I'm going to do is kind of release these notes and these instructions one day at a time. So this is meant to, well, for a couple reasons. I like to kind of have the chance to adapt things as they go and kind of see how things work. In some cases, I need to sort of figure some things out ahead of time. So in other words, I don't want to release all of the content for the entire week at once or even the entire semester all at once. Just so you can kind of see these ideas in order. Like they do have an intentional order to them, and so I want to present them in that way and kind of give it to you one day at a time. Even though this class is asynchronous and you don't have to do these things on the day that they're assigned, I think you would have a harder time if you tried to work ahead than if you work backward, I guess, if that makes sense. So all of these things, I've organized these and I call these day 1, 2, 3, and 4. I recommend you do them on the day that I'm assigning if you can, but if you can't because of work or other issues, if you want to try to do it all on Friday, that's fine as well, but maybe a little bit harder just because of doing all that. Anyway, but this is the idea. So this day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So today's notes are up here. Day 2's notes will be up tomorrow morning, 3 and 4, Wednesday and Thursday as they go. I have 4 days of content per week for the 5 weeks of this class. Right, so usually that's Monday through Thursday, except next week. Is it next week? Or the week after? Whatever, the 4th of July week, we have Tuesday through Friday instead because Monday is supposed to be our holiday. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So this is the Canvas course, and I imagine you're familiar with Canvas. If you've taken classes at UMW before, then you probably are. A couple of just general notes about it. Just make sure that you have that you have a way to receive announcements. So like if I send an announcement, make sure it goes to your email or your text messaging or whatever, just somewhere that you're going to see it. Because the announcements, if there's something really important that I want you to know, I'm going to send it in an announcement. So make sure you're seeing those. Okay, so let's maybe take a look at the syllabus just to see if there's anything else here. A lot of this stuff is kind of high level general stuff, but it just kind of covers a few things that I've already talked about basically. This is a course, I guess I should say this. So this is a course about digital studies. You might be wondering what that is. And for me, I always talk about it in terms of these 3 areas: digital creativity, digital culture, and digital methodology. But at a high level, what all those 3 areas add up to is understanding how digital stuff has changed our world and how we can use that digital stuff to make the world better. Like that's maybe a more succinct way of putting it. But all these different things will involve different kinds of skills, different kinds of background information, different kinds of things that you'll work on and develop. Let's see, I just noticed that's really small on here. Let me make that bigger. That's probably better. Yeah, hopefully that's good enough. So yeah, this is where we are, right? This is a required course for the minor in digital studies or the major in communication digital studies. This course is also digitally intensive. And so those are the 3 reasons that you're likely taking this class, but it is a class I would recommend to everybody just because I think it's a good class. So whatever your reasons that you're here, then you're certainly welcome. I did notice looking at the introductions, a lot of you are not CDS majors. You are different majors, which is great. And that seems to be the case. Just this is just my anecdotal observation, but that seems to be the case with the summer version of the class more so than the fall and spring. All right, cool. So these are the things you're going to work on and develop and build as you work throughout this class. You're going to learn about expressing yourself through design, through even maybe programming, maybe through building a website. You're going to look at how knowledge and culture and stuff that we think we know is developed by digital technology. You're going to understand some of the historical background about this technology and this culture and how it came together. And then ultimately you're going to be building and thinking about your digital identity as a way to express your understanding of this stuff, and also as a way to put yourself into these conversations. And that's what you're going to be doing mainly with your domain. So there are no required textbooks for this class. The only requirements, there are two requirements, I guess, as you see listed here. I do want you to have a domain. I do want you to use that domain to share your ideas and your projects that you produce through this class. We'll talk about that shortly, but that is required. And then otherwise, the readings, everything will be online. Everything is free. And the website is free too. Like, you don't have to pay anything else. So and we'll talk about that in a bit, I suppose. Okay, so I think I got all of these things updated correctly. Just a couple more kind of structural things about the class. Everything is due on Fridays, so that lets you kind of pace yourself throughout the week if you'd like, but some of the things will be assigned earlier in the week, and you would be better off in some cases finishing them earlier in the week so you can move on to the next thing in the week. But just in general, everything is just default due date Friday. Also, each of the 5 weeks has a required weekly reflection statement thing report at the end of each week. So that's in addition to whatever else is assigned that week. So that's something that you should be prepared to do on Friday. So I don't want to get into the weeds with the assignments yet. Just a quick note about the grading. Something you might notice if you've already looked at the assignments is that everything is actually listed as being worth 0 points. This is because I try to avoid the points and letter grade system within Canvas as much as possible. I do ultimately have to assign you a letter grade at the end of the semester, but I really want you to kind of take control of your own learning processes and not worry so much about the grade part of it. And so that said, I do find it useful to give you some kind of feedback, and so I use this really simplified minimalist sort of system: check, check plus, check minus. There is a percentage assigned to these, but this is just to give you a sense of a ballpark, and to let you know that a check is good, a check is fine, the check means that you did what you were asked and that was great. Check plus might be something that exceeded expectations, and a check minus means something it was okay but something was missing. But these are not really point values. These are just ways for me to signal to you what you're doing well and maybe what you need to improve on or look at for the next time. All right, but ultimately, at the end of the semester, at the end of the term, you'll be looking back on all this stuff, reflecting, and kind of making an argument to arguing on your behalf what grade you feel like you have earned for that class. We'll talk about that in a few weeks. Okay, so policies and expectations. Honestly, this is mostly boilerplate. I guess a few things to mention that might be a little different. You are welcome to record. I mean, it's already being recorded if it's online like this. There will be some things though, like I don't plan on using Zoom, but if we do, or if I'm talking about the office hours kind of chats, if there's anything that involves other students, you should not record that without their permission. So like if there's a group chat or something, I guess that's the only thing worth kind of mentioning here. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to gloss over these things. Let me just see. Oh yeah, if you have any accommodations, please let me know. Since this class doesn't require tests, that's the most common kind of accommodation I see. That usually doesn't apply to this class, but if there's anything that I need to know, please let me know. You can of course tell me things on the form that I sent last night, or if you have a letter from ODR, then of course please send me that. I think that's all I need to cover. Okay, so let's see. Cool, so that's good enough for now. I think if you have any questions, I'm up to 12 viewers. All right, great. Good morning. Let's take a look at today. So today is Monday, June 21st. So let's take a look. Right, so here are some of your goals for today. So you want to orient yourself to the structure of the class. I've been talking about it already, so hopefully it makes sense. So hopefully you are oriented. Okay, so let's talk about Discord. So let me see. Discord is You know what? I'm gonna make a quick fake channel here so that I can show you all how to use Discord. I don't want to take for granted that you all know how to use Discord, so let me show you something here. I'm going to switch this over here, and hopefully this will work. Yeah, so I'm just putting this in here, and what I'm trying to do is I was trying to make sure I don't accidentally put your name on screen. I'm trying to protect your privacy here, but I wanted to show you how Discord works, just in case you've never used it. It is similar to, I mean, in some ways you might recognize things if you've ever used Slack or Microsoft Teams or other things, but Discord is, I think, more popular than those. I like it, certainly. The thing I really like about Discord, honestly, between Discord and Slack is that you can have one Discord account and then use that to log into a bunch of different servers, whereas with Slack you have one login per server, or per, they call them workspaces in Slack. And I understand why they do that in Slack, but it really is inconvenient if you have multiple servers or workspaces. In my case, I have a couple dozen Discord servers that I'm part of now, and several that I administer. So it's easy for me to kind of see them all here and kind of work through them, and switch between them pretty easily. All right, so this is how it works. So you just start typing in the message area. This is the message area in Discord. So I'm demoing how this works. So if you want to join this channel and chat with me here, you can, but just note that your name would appear on the screen. So only do that if you don't mind your name appearing on the screen on the stream here. Let me see if I can just kind of zoom in on this a bit. Yeah, so I don't usually look at it at this size, but this is usually how it works. Now I'm looking at this in the web browser, which is a way to use Discord. That's valid. But as you can see with this thing here, they do recommend using the desktop app, and I do as well. You can get a desktop app, you can get a mobile app, and it's all the same accounts. Everything is all linked together. I like using those both. So I have the app on my phone. So if you send me a message on Discord, I will see it on my phone pretty quickly. Or if you @ me, like if you type @Zach Whalen, that's a message that will go, that I will see. Right. So what else? So you've got different things you can add here in Discord. Like you can type a message, or you can upload an image here if you have a meme image you'd like to share in our memes channel. You can also search for GIFs. You can also do emoji, and you can search for emoji like this and just type it straight as a message, or you can use an emoji to respond to someone else's message. And that's actually a really good way to show that you're that you're listening, basically, just to kind of indicate that you have to acknowledge that you've seen someone's message. It's certainly easier than typing something out, but it's a good thing to do. It's a good habit to get into, just communicating online in general. But I think in Discord especially, it kind of helps. Like you all probably don't know each other. You're all over the country. I don't know where you are, but you're different places. But it's kind of nice to know that someone else is out there and that someone else has seen your message. So I really recommend use emoji to respond to each other's messages, or mine. But I will certainly do that too, just to kind of show that you're there and to give us a sense of presence to our space here as we start to use Discord. Okay, so I can't think of anything else really to add. The other thing I guess I should mention, these are the channels over here, and you can switch channels. I'm not going to switch now, but you can click on a channel name to switch to it. If it has that hash mark in front of it, it's a text channel. If it has the speaker mark or symbol in front of it, that's a voice channel. So if you want to join me during office hours, you would just click on this, and then it should automatically connect you to the voice channel. I'm not going to do that now, but that's how that works. So these channels here are bold because someone has typed something there that I haven't seen yet, and so that's what's showing up there for me. These channels have pretty, I think, self-explanatory names. So general is just for whatever. That if there's something you want to say that you're not sure where to put it, then put it in general. Introductions, that's where I've asked you all to introduce yourselves. Announcements is where I will share links to announcements when I post those in Canvas. Share is when you're ready to share something that you've done, put it there. Troubleshooting is when you're having problems with something, so put it in there. I will see those messages, of course, but your peers may see that message as well, and they may have an answer for you before I have a chance to. Or they may have a way to explain something in a way that makes more sense to you than what I would say. So that's good. Pet pictures, do you have a pet? Share a picture of the pet. I don't have a pet, actually, although I have a dog visiting me this week, so I'll see if I can get a picture of Rusty. Yeah, sometimes, so I do want to have a few kind of, I guess, assigned discussions, assigned isn't the right word, but discussion channels about a specific reading. And so I've got a channel here set up for one of your bits of homework for today. This is an article about the domain of one's own project, and so I think it's a good place to start. So I'd like for you to read that. If you have any questions or insights from this article, then please share them in this channel. Back here on the notes page, I've got some kind of discussion questions here, like things to start you thinking about it, and you can answer those things in that Discord channel if you'd like. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else to say about Discord. Oh yeah, the other thing, so going back to Colin's question about the domain discussion, I do recommend sharing your ideas or discussing your ideas about a domain before you register for it. And I think general is a good place to do that. That's just a general channel. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about this domain. What do you all think? Does this sound like a good name? I think that would be fine. Okay, so that was Discord. Let's learn about domains. So that was a good segue. So domains, this is the website that we use to introduce you all to the concept of domains. Let me explain a bit about what a domain is, and then give you a sense of what you're signing up for and how to make a good choice about that sign up. So this little image that you see on the right, this, where is it, over there? I can't reach all the way there, my camera's gonna cut off, but the choosing your own domain, that's gonna be the first thing you see when you try to log in here, right? So if you sign in, you're going to see that first. I'm gonna see something else because I've already got an account, but if you're new to this system, you'll see it here. This is a system run by University of Mary Washington. We were one of the first schools to have a system like this, and there are lots of other schools now emulating us. We've had this for a number of years now. This is a system whereby we are giving you all a domain name. So a domain name is the thing that you type into the address bar. So zachwhalen.net. I own zachwhalen.net. I'm the only person that owns zachwhalen.net, so I can put whatever I want on zachwhalen.net, and no one can tell me not to, basically. So this is my website, right? So this is a website that I need to do some work on, as you can see, but it's, it works, it's there. I use WordPress. WordPress is software that lets me create the content here, but I'm actually getting away from WordPress and, working on a new version of the site using something entirely different called Grav. But for now, this is what my website looks like. And I use this to blog infrequently, but more often, I guess I'll share, things about what I'm teaching or different projects I'm working on. You can also use my website to contact me. So if you go to the contact page, then you can see I need to update this here, but this is my contact info, by the way. So if you do need to get in touch with me, you've got a lot of different options here. You can even use the contact form on the website. And even though this is out of date, this should work. Actually, this might not work either, come to think of it. I'll have to update that. But that's how you can reserve some time to talk with me. So click book now, and then it'll take you to a form where you can schedule a one-on-one meeting with me, and use it. In that one-on-one meeting, we can use different ways to hold that meeting if you'd like, video chat or text message or something else. So, but that's how you do that. Okay, so that's my website. It's my way of saying, like, this is me and here's my stuff, and this is how you can find out more about me. And that's something that has been very useful to me professionally, because that's kind of, in academia, it's kind of all about getting your name out there and getting your work out there. And, I've had this domain now for 15 or more years. I don't know. I don't remember when I actually registered this, but it was a way that I was, as a student coming out of school and looking for jobs, this was a way to help me kind of get my name out there and let people know that I was, that I had these different things going on, and it helped that, I think. It also helped because, my name is fairly uncommon. There are certainly other Zach Whalens out there, but it has helped that through the things I put on this domain, I've been able to really dominate the search engine results. So if you go to Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing and you search for my name, you will, I'm pretty sure, still find me at the top of the list, and really most of the first page will be different things related to me. So, there you go. There is a guy who does deep sea photography, another guy named Zach Whalen, and his website looks really good too. So check him out sometime. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I have come across it. He's often on the first page too, so he's definitely worth checking out. Anyway, so this is what a domain is, and I am asking you for this class to create your own domain. Now, this is a domain that is yours, and so I really recommend thinking hard about the domain that you create here. This is something that we are providing to you while you're a student. When you leave us and graduate, go on to the rest of your life, you can take this domain with you. In other words, this is something that you might have for 15 years, like I've said with mine. So think carefully about this domain that you sign up for, because you get a choice. You can sign up for a domain as long as no one else has already registered a name, but that's it. We don't let you change it. So make a careful choice. Okay. So yeah, I have a video on the notes for today that kind of shows you a bit more about like what domains are and like how they work. If you want to get kind of the technical part of it from ICANN, which is the main organization that oversees this kind of thing. But basically there can only be one entity that owns google.com. There can only be one entity that owns umw.edu and so on. So you can't, like if your name.com already has been registered by someone else, you can't take that from them. So this is a global system. And so if you have a name that's somewhat common, then you might have a harder time. Most of the time, as far as choosing a good domain, I really, I don't know, I have some recommendations down here. A couple things. Oh, there's a bird. It didn't go by the part that's visible on the camera, but oh yeah, that's a catbird. It just flew by it checked it. It just checked the bird feeder box, which is empty, and then flew away. No, it's not empty actually. Oh, anyway, it's a catbird. Anyway, so choosing a domain, right? Sorry, I keep getting distracted by birds. I recommend avoiding hyphens just because it can make it kind of awkward to explain it to someone else. What I recommend is kind of think about, like, you're in the elevator with someone who you realize is the hiring manager of the company you want to work for, and you strike up a conversation, and you're in that conversation saying, hey, you should check out my website, zachwhalen.net. You want to be able to say your domain name out loud quickly in a way that someone would understand it and be able to type it in later. So you want to keep it simple. You want to avoid hyphens because that adds complexity, right? Because you have to say zach-whalen.net. Like that would be like sort of longer to say. I don't recommend referencing UMW. Some people have done that. I really don't, because this is something that is, I mean, you're doing it because I'm asking you to, but it really is something that you're doing for yourself. I hope you believe that by the end of this term, that this is something that you're doing for yourself. So don't put my name in it. Don't put UMW's name in it. Make this your own. Like really embrace the opportunity here. And yeah, that's about it. Keep it simple, keep it short. Don't put numbers either if you can avoid it. Don't just make this your net ID, like the thing that you type in for email. So mine is zwhalen zwhalen@umw.edu. zwhalen.com would be a terrible domain name. So I don't recommend doing that. Keep it short. Honestly, yourname.com or .net or .org is usually the best way to go. Usually .com is the best way to go. I went with .net for mine just because I do have a network of sites built into zachwhalen.net, and it kind of sounds better than .com, but it ultimately doesn't matter. There's also .info, right? There's lots of other options here. Okay, so that's some basics about a domain. Let me show you one more tool that you can use to learn more about domains. This tool has a few caveats though, so let me kind of take you through it. So this is whois.domaintools.com. So because domains are a global system, it's something called the domain name system, DNS. It is possible to look up every domain that's registered, which is actually what you have to do first before you sign up for a domain. You have to see, does this name exist yet? So you can type it. So if you're thinking about a domain and you're not sure if it's going to work, you can go to whois.domaintools.com, or whois, the shortcut is just whois.sc. And, oh, really? Did they change this? I guess so. Okay, well, whatever it is. And you can look up, is this name taken or not? Now, the only caveat I have about this particular website, Domain Tools, is that this is a website that makes it easy to do the whois lookup like that, but they also try to sell you a domain. Don't buy a domain from them. This is not the idea. Don't do that. So this is showing you that this domain is already registered. It's registered by me, and right. So let's see, 5,000 days old. Yeah, there you go. So yep. I think that's all there is to it. But basically, yeah, look at what your see if your name is available. If it's not available, then this website will suggest alternatives. But keep it, use one of the main TLDs. The TLD is that part that comes after the domain name, so that's the .net, .org, .com. Choose one of the more familiar ones of those if you have options. Okay, so if you're still, like, I've given you a lot of things to think about with this. So if you are still not sure, right, I really want you to ask for advice. So if you are at all hesitant, run it by me and I will give you some thoughts about, pros or cons of different options. If you have several that you're considering, if you just see yourname.com, you want to go for it, go ahead. If you see something else you really like, go for it. Ultimately it's your decision. I just want you to make sure, first of all, that this is a one-time decision. Like you can't redo this. So make sure you do it well. Probably do it today if you can, but do it thoughtfully. All right, so that's your main homework for today. Well, your main task for today is getting that signed up. What else? All right, so yeah, I don't know. I think I've covered just about everything so far. Let's see. So that also, by the way, is my answer to Colin's question a while ago from the live stream chat channel. Yeah, so think of some names and then put it here in the general Discord channel. So where was my reference to Slack? Where did you see that, Colin? Ah, there it is. Okay, so let me fix that. Sorry about that. I should just do like a global find and replace for just Slack and Discord. There we go. Okay, no, what's that now? Okay, I think everything else that I've hit the highlights, but there's more detail in here in the text part of it, so I encourage you to read this and learn from it that way. The last thing I want to mention is just the reading homework, and I think everything else is covered pretty well in my introduction stuff. Just a couple general things to reiterate, right? So this is a summer class, so it's fairly compressed, but it's asynchronous, so a lot of this is kind of do it at your own pace, but it should be a fairly, I guess, brisk pace so that you can get things done. And I do like to give you these things in order. So these are your tasks and notes for today. This page I'm looking at right now, and it's available from the homepage. But if you want to do this all on Friday, then you can technically, but I think you will have a much harder time. So I really recommend doing them day by day as they come out. I think that's all I need to say. Let me just say a few words about this. The web we need to give to students. This is a bit of an older article now because, but I like it a lot because it really lays out some of the philosophical thought process behind the UMW Domains program, and really kind of highlights our program as an example of one way around a particular problem that Audrey Waters is talking about here. So Audrey Waters is a tech writer, specifically, I guess, tech and education writer. And so she's got some ideas here about the landscape of education technology and where we fit into that as at UMW, but also just as where you fit into this as a student. I don't know, there's a lot, even though this article is like I say, 6 years old now, I know there's a lot of things that I think are still true and are still maybe even more urgently true about some of the problems she's concerned about, right? So she's talking about things like privacy and, the way that all the different ways we've found ourselves connecting in the past, year and a half with the pandemic online has given us all kinds of new and tricky things to negotiate in terms of public and private communication. And we've kind of brought our public lives into our homes in a lot of ways. And, it's really, I think, made a lot more people aware of those boundaries because they've become much more kind of fluid boundaries. So some things to talk about here, but ultimately I'm just curious to kind of hear your thoughts about this and hear your questions about kind of what you're doing here with your domain. Okay, so please read that and answer some of these questions, I suppose, in the Discord. One thing I would recommend if you're going to post these questions, your answers in Discord, by the way, is I'd recommend just keep the Discord thing open and kind of write things in there as they occur to you. this is not an English class. I don't need a 5-paragraph essay explaining your thoughts about these things. And in fact, that kind of post in a Discord message is very hard for other people to respond to because it's just a wall of text. So, post your ideas kind of one at a time as they come up, and just like short messages, short posts work a lot better. Like, I'm not grading these. I'm not looking for length, right? I just want to see you engaging with this article. And so a way to show engagement using Discord is just those quick little notes and thoughts as they occur to you. So that's really what I would like to see, what I recommend. Let's see, does this link still work? Oh yeah, I guess this link is, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions before I go, I guess I'll give you a minute or two to post any questions if you'd like, but I'll wrap it up, and then I will see you online again from 1 to 3. I'll just be hanging out in office hours, no agenda. I'll just be there, so feel free to drop in or out, in and out at any time in that window. I may change the time of this, by the way. Like, I'm gonna take a look at your responses here. This is the form I sent out last night, and it looks like a lot of you are available roughly in this time period, but I've only heard from 7 so far. So, this may change. If it turns out that a lot of you are available or are more available, like in the afternoon, I might do these streams in the afternoon, but my preference would be in the morning, just to get it over with. Okay, so I think this is all I needed to say. But if you haven't done this form yet, please do. If you haven't signed up for Discord yet, please do. And if you haven't got a domain yet, please try to work towards getting that signed up today. You don't have to put anything there yet. Just get it registered, and we'll talk about building content on it starting tomorrow. But get that established today, and then as always, feel free to reach out with questions. Okay, so I will wrap it up then. Let me just maybe I'll switch back. Yeah, I'll switch back to the lobby. Oh, I see a question from Noah. Do we have to do that? I mean, those questions are just the thoughts I had. You're talking about the discussion questions for the Audrey Waters article. Let me pull them up here. I mean, these are things that I think are kind of the questions I have as I'm reading this article. If you think of other things you want to talk about, yeah, by all means. Just kind of maybe even use your Discord. The Discord channel is almost like taking notes as you read, right? But these are kind of of course public, so it's a conversation. But put it there. Or if I mean, one thing that is often really helpful as far as a discussion is like if you think of a question, like you're reading this, and you have a question about something she's said there. Post your question in the Discord channel, and then other people might have a chance to respond to that and give you their thoughts. So yeah, really, honestly, do whatever you want. I mean, read the article, but as far as responding to it, many options. Don't worry about kind of responding in the right way or answering all of my questions or anything. Okay, great. So let me see if I can. Oh yeah, I don't have, like, I'm using OBS, which is the streaming software here, and I don't have a good like signing off scene set up yet. So I don't even have my music queued up anymore. So anyway, I'll just wrap it up, and then I'll make this look a little bit slicker tomorrow. But thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day. If you have questions, let me know, or drop in the office hours this afternoon. And yeah, welcome to the class. Welcome to the second summer term. All right, see you later.